Welcome back. Richard Heart has two more responses for the SEC, or at least since the SEC charging Richard Heart for securities fraud. Now, this is what Richard Heart has to say, and of course, I'm going to relate this to pulsex, pulsechain, and hex, and show you the price action so far and where the price action is heading. So before I get into this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, click the bell notification icon so you can stay up to date with all my recent videos. Remember guys, nothing that you see in this video is financially advised, so always make sure to do your own independent research. And with that being said, pause the video, click the link in my description, and join the Telegram group so you can stay up to date with all my recent updates, news updates, technical updates, and much more. Let's get straight into it. So this is Richard Heart's second response. He's made this post on the 2nd of August at 11:01 p.m. Blockchains are a library. Blocks are people's writing, math, art, and speech. Blockchain software is the publishing software you use to publish the speech you've created to the public. The First Amendment protects your right to communicate with your fellow man. Banning the pen would be worse than banning a book. Blockchains are the digital pen by which you make permanent, immutable, provable speech to the world. They are a unique tool by which you can prove that you said something at a certain time. A tool which lets you communicate with your fellow man permissionlessly, as God intended. A building block for the digital future of man. The Constitution has been proven in court to protect numerous types of speech, from dance to nudity to code. Blockchains are more than just speech. They're also the very tools by which you can broadcast your ideas into the world, often a Turing complete vast world of possibility. Interesting. This received 205 bookmarks, over 2,000 retweets, over 200 quotes, and over almost 6,000 likes. Now, this in my opinion should have been the first response rather than the response I showed you yesterday. So if you haven't seen yesterday's response, after this update, go back and watch that one. This should have been the first response. I think this is a very mature response. It's very, it's something that we can all relate to in the Web3 and cryptocurrency space, and it brings everyone together. I think we can all agree on the statement that has been made. And in fact, when I show you the price action, I'm not saying that these statements have anything to do with the price action, but what I am saying is we are in the green, right? Now, the second response is this, and this was on August the 3rd, 2:10 a.m. I grew up poor. I lived in a warehouse. I worked hard and eventually raised over 27 million for charity. Wrote free self-help books, free self-help videos. Called the Bitcoin top at 65,000 years ago. The last time I was at my mum's house, I installed a bidet for her. I did everything I could to help people not get scammed, giving their money to companies that promise you opportunity but deliver you bankruptcies. And he obviously quotes a few companies here. Don't drink, don't gamble, don't trade. Consider raising money for charity, and definitely install a bidet for your mum. There's a video on how to do it on richardheart.com. I'm doing the best I can to make the world a better place, and I want you on my team. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Now, this second response is an interesting one. He is obviously, we've heard this before. If you're part of the pulsechain, pulsex, or hex community, this is something that obviously Richard Heart has stated before. So there's nothing new here. But this is also a middle finger to the SEC, in my opinion. Now, since these updates, we have seen a significant pullback for pulsechain, pulsex, and hex in regards to price. So for example, pulsex up 31% for the day, pulsex up 29% for the day, and this is of course, and hex up 33%. So if we look at price action, it was a bit concerning because we did see price create a new low from the sell-off point that we saw. Now we're seeing price back up to its price area that we saw on the 1st of August, or at least close to that area. And realistically, what we want to see is price momentum continue and at least go back inside of this range. I mean, that is going to be a massive win for everybody that is holding these cryptocurrency projects. Now, I want to make it clear, just because price goes up, price may go parabolic from this point. Price may, who knows what will happen. But the point is, it still doesn't change the fact that the SEC are after Richard Heart. So you do need to be more strategic and tactful than you've ever been before. This isn't, I'm sorry to say, and again, a lot of people aren't going to like this. I like to give you guys a very balanced view and an honest view. This isn't a scenario where you're just going to sit on your hands and hodl forever now. That is out the window. Why? Because if things dive deeper, let's say, I don't want to put things out there, but let's just say things turn for the worse and the rabbit hole goes much, much deeper than we all could have imagined. This is going to go sour, right? We still need to determine whether we could potentially see further downside momentum from this point. So we are still going to wait until the end of the week to make our final judgment call. Again, if you want access to that, our full strategy, full in-depth approach, join Crypto Crew Premium now, link in the description, right? Crypto Crew Premium, again, is a no-brainer at this point. If you're holding Hex, Pulsechain, and Pulsex, if you don't have a strategy, you're definitely going to need one, right? So that, again, even if you don't join Crypto Crew Premium, I would urge you all to start diving deeper into your research, start looking deeper into the case, and honestly start preparing for your next strategic moves, because if not, you're just going to get wrecked. And I don't want that for any of you listening to this. So join Crypto Crew Premium, click the link in my description. Extremely cheap and affordable for all. But yeah, let's continue. So far we're pulling back. This is exciting to see. Let me just show you pulsex as well. So you can see price is also pulling back. We just have to see how this looks by the end of the week. I mean, as it stands, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, the community is still holding strong. It doesn't seem that people are phased in the slightest. I mean, we did see Uniswap obviously delist Hex, and some people are saying now to boycott Uniswap because it's meant to be a decentralized exchange, but they're just proving how centralized they are. So this could be a bad move for them. But even if you take that all aside, it shouldn't be surprising. We saw Coinbase delist XRP, right? You weren't allowed to buy XRP on Coinbase, and now you can after obviously the SEC, favor that went in. Sorry, the court judgment that went in favor of XRP, declaring it not a security or whatever, right? So these things can change. The fundamentals can change. I think we're still in for a very, very few interesting weeks ahead. I do think the next few months are also going to be interesting for Plsx, Pulsechain, and Hex. But I'll leave you with one thing, and one thing that I'm noticing is this, the price action, obviously the shock of the SEC going after Richard Heart has obviously caused the sell-off. But we're going to see how strong the community really is. We're going to see how decentralized Pulsechain, Plsx, and Hex really is. We're going to learn a lot in the next few weeks. But I urge you all to develop an edge, because if you don't have an edge, you're going to lose. I'll see you all in Crypto Crew Premium. Until the next update, seize the day.